Hi everyone. Today in math we are going to keep working with pairs of numbers that add to a number. We've been doing that with 5 and 10. And now we're going to see that there's actually patterns in finding all the pairs that add to a number. So if we go back to 5 and we think of different pairs of numbers that add to 5, we could say 1 and 4 added to 5, and we could flip them. 4 and 1 added to 5. We could say 2 and 3 added to 5, so we could flip them and say 3 and 2 added to 5, and 5 and 0, or 0 and 5. But that doesn't really help us figure out, do we have all of them? How do we know? Does it help us figure out which pairs of numbers equal 5? We just know this because we've been practicing it. But we could figure it out. So 3 plus 0 equals 3. 0 plus 3 equals 3. 2 plus 1 equals 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Are these all the ways to equal 3? How do we know? Well, we can put them in order. So 0 plus 5 equals 5. 1 plus 4 equals 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5. 3 plus 2 equals 5. 4 plus 1 equals 5. 5 plus 0 equals 5. So this year we've been looking for patterns because patterns really help us in math. Because we talked about the fact that math always makes sense. English doesn't always make sense. We make rules and then promptly break them. But if we make a rule in math, that rule stays because math always makes sense. So we should see some patterns. Well, one of the things we see is that yes, they all equal 5. We're looking for all the ways to add up to 5. But hopefully we see a different pattern. So if we look at the first number, if we start at 0, then it goes counting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But as this number goes up, the second number goes down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So we can look at it finding all the ways to add up to 3. So here we have 3 red circles. 3 red circles plus 0, what color should we do? Yellow? 0 yellow circles equals 3 circles altogether. But if we change one, now we have 2 red circles and 1 yellow circle, still 3 circles altogether. Change another one. Now we have 1 red circle and 2 yellow circles. We still have 3 circles altogether. I haven't changed it, except for the color. Now we have 0 red circles, 3 yellow circles, still have 3 circles altogether. There is no other way that I can have these circles. I've done them all. So, and now we have same order. Now this one goes down by 1 while this one goes up by 1. 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways of adding to 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways of adding to 5. We're going to have 2 ways of adding to 2. Not 2 ways, 3 ways. All right, so let's figure this out. 2 yellow squares plus, what color should we do? Red again? How many red squares? 0 red squares. equals 2 squares altogether. Now I'm going to change one of them. So now I have 1 yellow square and 1 red square equals 2 squares. I can only change one more. Now I have 0 yellow squares and 2 red squares equals 2 squares altogether. 3 ways to add to 2, 4 ways to add to 3, 5 ways to add to 4, 6 ways to add to 5, 7 ways to add to 6, and so on. There is always a pattern, and it's going to be the same way when we do takeaway. So if we do 5 take away 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to see the pattern goes down this way. It's going to go up the other way. So that's what we're going to be doing in math today. We're going to be finding the patterns. 0 colored in hearts plus 4 not colored in hearts equals 4 hearts. 1 colored in hearts plus 3 not colored in still equals 4. So you're going to have to color in 2, 3, and 4, and you will see the pattern as the number of colored hearts goes up by 1, the number of not colored in hearts goes down by 1. Now we're going to change it with fruit instead of coloring them in. We're going to have apples and bananas. 5 apples, 4 apples, 3 apples, 2 apples, 1 apple. Which number is the same every time? We're not changing the number of fruit. We're just changing the kind of fruit. As the first number goes up by 1, the second number goes, we should see. Okay. Super important so that we can see all the patterns. It helps us find answers in math.